This is your 420 Radio News for Thursday, November 21st, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. Feds raid Denver area marijuana dispensaries and grow operations, from the Denver Post. In the largest federal raid on Colorado marijuana facilities since medical marijuana became legal, federal law enforcement agents, with an assist from local police officers, executed search and seizure warrants at multiple dispensaries and cultivation facilities throughout the region, at least a dozen in Denver alone. Jeff Dorschner, spokesman for the U.S. Department of Justice in Denver, said the raids were being conducted by the Drug Enforcement Administration, Internal Revenue Service Criminal Investigations Unit, the Denver Police Department, and state and local law enforcement. He said, quote, "Although we cannot at this time discuss the substance of this pending investigation, the operation underway today comports with the department's recent guidance regarding marijuana enforcement matters," end quote. Thursday's actions are occurring roughly 7 weeks before marijuana begins being sold legally to adults in retail stores on January 1st. Poll: 82% favor medical marijuana, plurality support pot legalization, from the Miami Herald. If a medical marijuana initiative makes Florida's ballot next year, it could pass with an astonishing 82% of the vote, according to a new Quinnipiac University poll released Thursday that finds voters also favor outright legalization as well. Medical marijuana is clearly popular, and marijuana legalization is becoming more liked as well, albeit narrowly. Nearly half of Florida voters favor it, 48%, while 46% oppose pot legalization for personal use. But Republicans are opposed 30 to 64%. Contrast that with GOP voter support for medical marijuana is solid, 70 to 26%. Republican Governor Rick Scott opposes medical marijuana. Democrats Charlie Crist and Nan Rich support the initiative, which is funded and led by Crist's employer, trial attorney John Morgan, a Democratic donor. A major Florida Republican donor, former Ambassador Mel Sembler, is opposing the measure through his Drug Free America Foundation. In the race for governor, the Quinnipiac poll found that Scott trailed Crist by 7 percentage points, 40 to 47%. More Washington state drivers testing positive for marijuana, from Huffington Post. More drivers have been testing positive for marijuana since Washington legalized the drug last year, according to new figures from the State Patrol. In the first 6 months of 2013, the Patrol's crime lab says 745 people tested positive for marijuana. Typically, there are about 1,000 positive pot tests on drivers in a full year. It doesn't necessarily mean there has been a rash of people driving high, said Patrol spokesman Bob Calkins. Troopers are looking harder for drivers operating under the influence of pot, and they might be ordering more marijuana blood tests. "We're testing blood we didn't test before," he said. In addition, the overall number of impaired driving cases handled by the patrol doesn't appear to have risen this year and should be on track to hit the rough annual average of 20,000. Of the 745 people who tested positive for marijuana in the first half of this year, the State Patrol says a slight majority tested above that legal limit. The exact number, 420. Marijuana legalization in Oregon, lawmakers to discuss ideas Friday, from OregonLive.com. Lawmakers will meet Friday to lay groundwork for the possibility of legalizing recreational marijuana in Oregon, a state viewed nationally as one of the next to follow the lead of Colorado and Washington. Senate Judiciary Chairman Senator Floyd Prozansky, Democrat of Eugene, told the Oregonian Thursday he will push the Oregon legislature to refer a legalization initiative to voters in November of 2014. Prozansky called an initiative filed last month by New Approach Oregon, a pro-legalization group, a great first draft, end quote. U.S. Representative Earl Blumenauer, Democrat of Portland, will also address the panel to discuss the status of federal marijuana-related bills. He called New Approach Oregon's initiative, quote, a reasonable proposal, end quote. Painkillers may curb memory loss from medical marijuana, from sciencemag.org. Medical marijuana can alleviate pain and nausea, but it can also cause decreased attention span and memory loss. A new study in mice finds that taking over-the-counter pain medication like ibuprofen may help curb these side effects. In the brain, THC binds to receptors called CB1 and CB2. When they do, they suppress the activity of the COX-2 enzyme. Painkillers such as ibuprofen and aspirin work by blocking COX-2. A team led by Chu Chen at Louisiana State University discovered giving THC to mice increased the activity of COX-2. Blocking this activation alleviated the memory and learning problems triggered by the THC. This has been your 420 Radio News for Thursday, November 21st, 2013. I'm Russ Belville. When we come back, we go behind the headlines on that latest poll from the state of Florida showing 82% support for medical marijuana and the potential overreach by activists that may doom its chances at the Supreme Court. You're listening to The Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back.
When you are starting up a